Hello everyone, welcome to day 289 of playing chess every day for you. Let's find the game. Starting as black here against e4, so I'll play c6 and d5 this time, not d6. The plan of attack. I think d5, if they take, I would win a pawn, but I think they will only take once and then push through, which is okay. I'll play d5 anyway. It's probably best to take the e5 pawn. Okay, they take like this, and if I take that pawn that's on c4, their bishop develops and that doesn't look very nice. I could push through myself and then push again and play knight to c6, but I think developing my own bishop could be good here. They develop a knight. I could just take this free pawn, or I could play e6 and bring my bishop out, which I think is best. I just want to develop my bishop and then bring my knight to the c6 square, if I can. And I can actually push d4 and c5, trying to put my knight on this strong square. They push. They're not attacking me here, but I'll push like this. I'm just trying to play c5 and knight c6. They have to move the knight. If they move it all the way back, I wouldn't take, but that would give me a very nice square for my pawn. Yeah, so they go back this way. Now they are attacking the pawn, so I might have to push and then try to play it like this. If I push again, it's probably the best move. I can just play c5 though and hold on to this pawn, which also seems good. I'd love to develop a bishop, but I just get kicked away. I will play c5, just holding on to this. They push themselves. Now my plan is just to try and trade off this knight. Okay, so they're trying for this. I want to trade off the knight because I want to win this pawn here. The knight doesn't really have anywhere to go. I have a check that I can give, but then they just play bishop d2. They move another knight here. If I give a check and they block, I could take. Wow. So if I give this check, if they block with the queen, then we just trade. That's not so good. But if I give a check and they block with the bishop, I can take here first. But then I guess they can just take here. I think I just take the knight, the queen recaptures, and I take here. I can also just take here. And they cannot take. And I'm attacking the knight again. So I can win the pawn now. They give me a check, I can probably just block. I could be losing this knight. I think I need to move my... But the problem with moving my king is that I lose my knight. Maybe this was a big blunder from me. A serious blunder, maybe. If I go here, they just... If I go here, this is the only move because I can take with my knight, I think. And here I want to take with the bishop to have a check. They can't take here because I take the queen. If they take here, I take with the knight. I can save my knight. I can definitely remove this knight just to weaken their structure. They jump back, maybe trying to go here. It's a nice move. I think I need to develop my dark squad bishop now. Just here, I think. And if they jump in, I don't really want to take that knight though, so maybe I just play here for now. I don't give them this square. They force my bishop away. I can just jump away. We'll go here. They want to play like this. So I can take, and if they take with the knight, I have this move. And they have to move again. I just have this. I'm adding pressure to this, and if I get to play knight e5, I can even win this probably. That move doesn't do very much. If I play here, it stops me from castling, which is something. I have this now. I can probably just kick the bishop away. They just step back. I feel like taking that knight is a really good move, because I get this square. And my knight is very strong here. I can always go back to g6 as well to hit the bishop. They straight away kick my knight. So I can just go here, the bishop has to leave. And then I can go here if I want to. I'm also hitting the pawn. And if they push, I just have this. So bishop has to go back to g3. I always have this square. I think now I'll just develop my own bishop. If they push, I still have... Well, I can go here and pin the pawn to their bishop. They play this, I take, would check. They kick me away like this. If I take, they take, nothing there. That's okay, I'll just slide back and bring my bishop to this side. If they block, I take. So here if they block, it takes, I take. King up. So now I can probably try to bring my knight across the board like this. I don't have to worry about bringing my rooks in at the moment. I could go knight e7, knight e5, knight f5, trying to hit this. And also just having nice squares for my knight. I'm stopping any kind of push here as well. I could castle. I think I'm safe enough to castle. They're trying to go for this push. But I have this tempering their bishop first. They take and kick me away. I can just drop back. They go back that way. I can still attack a pawn here and then another one. So I could castle here, or I could just move my bishop away now. If here, they can play here probably. Yeah, I'm not winning any material there. I could castle into these bishops, but that doesn't seem right at the moment. I could also support this central pawn. Or this c pawn. I think a rook in the center is good. If they want to kick me away, I just drop back down. So it takes. If they take, I can go here. If they want to kick me away again, I mean I would lose material there, so my bishop's hanging. I can't take. I have to drop back and I think lose a pawn. So if I take the rook takes, there's nothing there. I do have a check, but they just take. So if here and they take, I have this. That doesn't really work. If I drop back here, they can play this. But then they're clearing space for my knight to come in, which I think long term would be very good. So I'll just go here. If they want to kick me, I would play here. If they take, I don't have to move at the moment. This is also hanging. This square looks really good. Or this square for my knight. But right now I have to worry about these. They're attacking this. I can't really I can protect it, but then they push. Castling could make sense. Here does not make sense. I think rook over is fine. If they push here, I can't actually push. Material's equal now, but I think I'm doing worse. They do have some weaknesses here. So knight back to go forward is probably a great move. Just trying to come in here. They do push, and if they want to take with the rook, I mean, I could castle now. I can also drop back. I think I can drop back here with the knight and threaten to go here. I think castling is the only correct move here. If they want to take and simplify it down, then I can win that pawn. Nearly win it. They do take, but they take with the pawn, which doesn't seem the best. I can probably try to kick the rook away. But I think for now I'll just try to bring my knight to threaten the fork. They're not threatening that much at the moment. They win a pawn, but it is strong because I need to stay here with my rooks. But knight d5, I'm threatening a fork. They actually stop me from playing knight d5, but I think I'll play it anyway. And obviously if they don't take my knight, I have a fork. It's actually a triple fork. They have to take him. And obviously I can move my bishop and win this pawn. Like here, forcing the rook away. And then I can double my rooks and try to win more. King up, attacking this is a nice move. I should probably play... I could play this, defending and attacking. I also have this trap, rook d8, because if they take, then I just win material. This defends the pawn though, which I prefer. And attacks the rook. And if they go here, I just take. The rook goes back, maybe they're trying to push and potentially win this pawn. I could take, and if they push, I can play here. They are weakening their squares up here. I could also just try to come in. I don't know if rook d8 or c8 is better. d8, I'm just protecting everything. Closing down the position. If I play rook c8, I have a check. And I'm not threatening much else. I'll just play rook d8 and try to keep everything protected. I can also... No, I can't play this move. Can play this move because if they take, they hang a rook. And then I'm also attacking the pawn. Well, I might have missed a very nice move here, which was... Oh, it's not... doesn't work at the moment though because of the bishop. But knight c3 is actually just a fork. They're threatening maybe to come in and pin me. This move doesn't work. I do have this. Yeah, I do have this. This move is quite nice actually. Maybe I should play this move now. And I'm either taking the bishop or the rook. If they come in to attack me, I can probably just take. Although that does just lose a piece, so that was a silly move. And this might be the end of the game if they just take my rook. Silly move. I had to move my rook first. Very silly move. Yeah, they can just take there. I'm looking for any kind of check that I might have, but I don't see anything. I mean, I have to take the rook, and if they recapture, I'm just down material. I'm down a full rook right now. If I hit the bishop, they can just trade down my rook and stop pushing their pawn. But I'll go for it anyway. Rook A8, it forces a rook trade. And then they would end up probably winning the game. I do have a very nice passed pawn, but it doesn't do that much. Now rook here, I'm threatening a check, but it doesn't actually threaten anything. I can't win anything. It does activate my rook, but that's it. I want to keep my bishop defended. Maybe I should go. But then if I move my bishop, this hangs. They just lock their bishop in. I have this move. Then they can always bring their rook in. I have to start running my king up the board, I think. I should also push g6 to stop this push. Now the bishop is pinned, but I still can't take it, obviously. They have to be careful with letting me push. If I play this, suddenly I can start pushing, so they have to be careful. I mean, if I push and they take and I push, they have this. I push, they take, I push, they have this. Then I win the material back. They take, I push, if here. I win the bishop back. But I'm still just down a piece. It's simple, if takes I push, and then if they come in here, I make a queen, we trade. Bishop f3, I just promote. But now they are winning because they have this. It is a problem, I'll be honest. If they cannot cross this line. If I check them, they actually still can and they have to go this way. And then I can maybe drop back. Maybe that's how I try to win the game. By playing rook here. If the king steps forward now, I think I play here. This check, the king has to step here. Then I could drop down and bring my own king. And try to save myself like that. That move allows me to check them and try to drop back. So if I take, they take. I play here, they play here, I play here. They win the game. If I check them, the king goes here. And then I can probably drop back. I thought they blundered the rook for a second, but if I check them, they just step here. And it's the exact same position. If I drop all the way back, I mean this move, with this move, I am threatening to actually win this pawn and then stop this one. If I check them, they step here, and I think that's not really good. They attack my rook. I could come in and attack the pawn. I can also threaten to win the bishop. And so now I have this. And if they step here, I could hit the bishop, and if they go here, this move actually just traps the bishop. They need to be careful about not losing this pawn though. If I play here, I could come in for this check. It doesn't do much. I'll stop by putting everything on light squares, but they can still just stop pushing now. If they push again, that blunders the pawn, so I'll just play this. If they step forward, okay, they just blundered the pawn. That's very interesting from them. And they actually go ahead and resign. So we get a fantastic win here at the end. They were completely winning. For some reason they push, which just loses the pawn. And then they play rook b2 thinking it was protected probably. This hangs the bishop and the pawn, but I actually have to take the pawn first. Or actually I can afford to take the bishop. I can afford to take the bishop, because if they queen... Oh no, that doesn't work anymore. King b6, I have this. King b7. Yeah, and it's a draw. Wow, that's crazy. Let's have a look at this game anyway. They played at a 73.3, I played at a 75.6. I made 2 blunders, they made 1 right at the end, which lost them the game. I had to push again and just create so much pressure. Because now they can push and the position is equal. If I pushed here, doing much better, they have to play knight e to d4. Then I can play bishop e4. They play h4. And they just have to give up material. I played like this. I thought I was losing my knight here, but there's one move that doesn't lose anything. And that's queen up. That's a mistake, because when I trade I have this. I can also just develop, and this is a weakness. It was best to put the bishop out first. That's a nice move. And here I go into trouble with the rooks and pawns pushing through. Taking is a blunder. I am losing this pawn, yeah. Wow, this is actually a massive blunder. I had to just leave now. That's a huge blunder. I should have calculated here. Because when I take, even though I can escape, they can win this by pushing here, which I missed. Now I'm in big trouble here. They can push through and try to promote, and I have to defend. They have to take with the rook. And then when I recapture, I can't actually win the pawn. Wow. I'd have to bring my knight. That's a big mistake. If I just play rook here. I guess I can threaten a check and then just try to win material. Yeah, this was obviously a huge blunder. It's just a terrible move. Actually, it's minus 4.5 now after this move, because they just take my rook and their rook is defended. If I'd moved my rook first, let's say they made any kind of move, then this would be not even the best move actually, because they'd have rook a8. That's interesting. I just blundered a piece. Here they actually make a mistake by allowing me to push through. They pick up another piece. I'm threatening to promote this, so they have to give up their bishop. And here is completely winning for white. I play king up because if I have a check here, I can win both these pawns and it would be a draw probably. I had this move which actually just wins the bishop, but then they just push and promote, so rook up defending is the best move. And here I try to trap them because I know that if they push again, they just end up losing the pawn because the king's 2 squares away. So I check them and win the pawn. For some reason, they play rook to b2, which just blunders the entire rook away and the game. And now it's me who's winning because I have a rook for a bishop. But that's it for today's game. Thank you guys for watching and I'll see you tomorrow.